Tanga. All the stores are closed. Bugan. We're cleaning the town. Bukan zonke iy'tolo. Abashwe. Bukani guys, ngicela nibuke. Literally 99% of iy'tolo ezigcwele la eThekwini. Oh, lo semnyango ususwa yini? Ngothi uyena kuphela ovulile. Uvula kanjani isimbi? Hey, yomzuskon. Bukan iy'tolo eThekwini guys, bukani. Bacane ngibukela. 90% of these stores are foreign nationals. Not even 90, in fact 99%, because zonke iy'tolo zivaliwe guys. Bukani. Situation eseThekwini njengamanje siklina itheku. Mengasekhambe nabantu sobarichi bafethu. You get a chance to build your own businesses here. Asikwazi thina ukwenza amabhizinisi zonke indawo zigcwele labantu bokufika lapha. Bukan guys, look at the situation. Yo. Hi.
Time to clean up.
Hi, it's time to clean up. It's time. Bukano Shalom Ben. Bavaliwe thana. Iy'tolo ey'vuliwe ezabantu balaphela. All the foreign national shops. Bukani semini kabha on a weekday, akuyona nge-weekend. It's a Wednesday. Bukani. Ohuda, Grace. Awunize nje bafethu babiza iy'tolo ngabazukulu babo, Grace nohuda bani bona lapho. Bukani.
This is the situation in Durban. All shops are closed. You can see right over there all of the march. They seem to be fighting that one because no closing the shop. But yet the police are coming. You can see the veins right there. You can see when these shops are closed all right away to the workshop. They're all closed. Now they're heading to the West Street.
Hi guys, so thank you so much for all the people who have come out in the eThekwini CBD cleanup that we've had. You guys have been doing such an amazing job, to see all the citizens come out in numbers and clean and make sure that they reclaim their city. It has been beautiful to watch. And not only that, there's a couple of shops that had foreign nationals, and now they're letting them go because obviously they're undocumented. They shouldn't even be in the country. And the people that are on the streets, Nabo, are showing appreciation. And there's a lot of positive feedback that we're getting from people who are people who frequent town, to see the place clean, to feel that dignity, that pride with this is my country. That's something that money can't buy. So I just want to say thank you so much to everyone that's come out to the cleanup. And then just to highlight the resilience of South Africans. I love that about my country. I know that we might have our own problems. We've got our own crimes that we deal with. We've got our own corruption. We've got our own issues with alcohol, etc., etc. But when South Africans decide that they want to unite for a common cause, they make sure. And I really commend you guys for that. Thank you. So now to talk about the cleanup. Now I knew for a fact that when we start this cleanup, the people that would give us the biggest problem is not going to be foreigners. It's going to be South Africans, because foreigners know they're wrong. They know they're not in compliance. They know that they're illegal in the country, and even though some of them might try their luck, but they don't boldly do it because they know that they're breaking the laws. And when they see police there, they have a bit of fear, unlike South Africans. Now, here is my problem. And of course, when I'm saying South Africans, I'm generalizing. I'm talking about those that actually have a problem. So we've received some complaints from people who claim that they're losing out on business, others saying that they were not told that there's going to be a cleanup, others saying that foreigners are not going to go anywhere, blah, blah, blah. That we're jealous, like something as ridiculous as saying that people are jealous for cleaning up their city. So I just want to start with those that are complaining about their business. And here's the thing about being trapped in a system, because you end up not even realizing that you're being trapped in a system, because they'll give you crumbs, because there's bread and then there's crumbs. And then the politicians will promise you the moon and the stars, promise you land, promise you that you're going to take over white people's businesses, promise you all kinds of ridiculous things that they haven't done until now, because they know it's difficult. So in the meantime, while they're making these promises, what is happening to you? Because Belangit, the land is not here now. The miracles that they've had years and years of trying to fix are not happening now. So what happens to a woman who's on the streets selling tomatoes, selling amazambane, and they say, oh, you're fighting, you're making people fight for tomatoes when they can fight for land. But there's no land that they're getting. The only thing they have right now is those tomatoes that's helping them make a living. Now, when you say that people must come in from everywhere in the world and come and sell those same tomatoes that this South African is selling, do you not think that that creates competition for them? So instead of having 3 South Africans selling tomatoes, you've now got 15 people selling tomatoes. That obviously limits the profitability for the 3 South Africans, when the other 12 people can go back to their country and sort things out, fight with their government, same way that we are. Because I promise you, there's no way we're going to sort every single African country's problems. Even if we tried, it's impossible. Even if we wanted to, it's impossible. So don't create the expectation that South Africa is going to solve African problems, because we're not. So we've got a problem here with people who think they sound woke because they'll tell us about our skin color and what, and they'll tell us that there's a land to fight for, blah, blah. You've had years and years to fight for the land. And until now, how much have you delivered? So we're delivering real practical things that people can get by with today. So those who are people who are in business, please find more creative business ways. Opportunities are going to open up. Those shops are not in compliance. It's got nothing to do with not liking foreigners or whatever. It's not about feelings. And it's not about feelings. It's about the law. Foreigners are in this country owning shops that they should not be owning. Foreigners are in this country breaking the laws of this country, and then you feel sorry for them because you have become so entangled in the system that you don't even see something that's going to be to your detriment. Now I ask all the people that are busy saying that
we are winning. For the past few days, I was in town, Durban CBD. The streets are so clean. It is so calm. There isn't even any traffic. Most of the shops are closed. the kind of shops that are closed are foreign national owned. That should speak volumes on its own. And it made me realize, oh, we have actually been invaded as South Africans in our own country. Because what do you mean that we have an unemployment rate of close to 70%, yet in the Durban CBD, about 70 or 65% of the shops are owned by foreign nationals? It made me realize what Jacinta was speaking about, that no, we're actually being invaded. And when I think about the alleged asylum seekers or refugees, I've come to conclusion that the government is very intentional and deliberate with flooding us with foreign nationals to compete with South Africans for South African resources and opportunities. What do I mean? Any country that is taking asylum seekers or alleged refugees because they come from war-ridden countries or whatever the case may be, should those people not have designated areas that are temporary for them whilst they're seeking asylum, not for them to become permanent residents of our countries, because then no one is going to fix their countries. But we don't have those designated areas in South Africa for refugees or asylum seekers. So then what do you expect those people to do? Obviously, they're going to come into the ordinary South African communities, and they're going to want to live with the same resources as South Africans and want the same rights as South Africans, and they're not going to see the reason nor the need for them to leave and go back to their countries, because we don't have refugee camps that are set up, because they're not going to see themselves as refugees once they're inside the country. They're going to see themselves as business people. That's why they start businesses. So why would they leave if they're profiting? So by the government not having the refugee camps, it was intentional. It was indirectly and directly a way of them telling the foreign nationals, go into the South African local economy and take over it. That's why they are so brave and so bold. Some are even falling out of the roofs and getting their bones broken and whatnot. The streets were so clean. Even right now, they are super clean. It can't be a coincidence that whenever we do our marches, march and march, that the streets are always clean because the shops are closed. Then who's doing the littering? For citizens to actually, during a march or a protest, for them to actually pick up litter and tidy up the streets and clean the streets, it should speak volumes about the government and the municipality, because we have a department of sanitation where it's government employees that should be picking up the litter because that's what they're employed to do. But then even they can't keep up with the litter because of the overwhelming influx of foreign nationals, because the cultures are different. They don't maintain nor care about our country's cleanliness. So, when I look at Rwanda, majority of foreign nationals don't go to Rwanda because they know they can't just do as they please. If for anything, Rwanda is one of the cleanest countries in the world, African countries, if not the cleanest country in Africa. Because I think it was a few months ago when I was researching Rwanda, they had one particular day of the week, I'm not sure if it was Sunday, where all shops were ordered to close, and they would literally, everyone is ordered to clean the streets. And if they don't clean, they are fined. That's why Rwanda is one of the cleanest countries. And when you look at Rwanda's history, even though it's not a colorful one, but in order for them to have what they have, there had to be a genocide. I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying that it had to get at some certain point for everything to be reset. In Rwanda, you can't just do as you please. I look at Germany. In Germany, they actually kill two birds with one stone. I'm not too sure about the other European countries, but I know at the UK, most parts of it aren't that clean, especially where there's like foreign nationals, especially London. But with Germany, they actually compensate people for picking up litter, bottles, and plastics in particular, and they pay them about 25%. I'm still learning how to pronounce some of the German words, but there are designated areas where people go and recycle their litter, plastics, and everything. When I look at the Durban CBD and the Johannesburg CBD, because I've been to both, there's hardly ever public dustbins, or those that are there, they're very few when you compare Joburg and Durban. So people, when they don't see any dustbins or whatever spaces to throw their litter, they're going to litter. That's another thing the government should be aware of, that they need to actually, in order for them to maintain the city and make it cleaner, they need to have more dustbins, or look into how Rwanda does it or how Germany does it. The only thing I'm not too pleased with right now when it comes to South Africans, especially skilled workers, those that do nails, sell food in town, sell clothes, do hair and whatever. You guys are so insecure and don't have the confidence, which I don't understand why you don't have that confidence to take over now, because we're clearing out the way for you guys. Go contact the landlord, ask them how much rent is. Start your business there. Canvas will support you. We are very supportive people, especially when it comes to our own locals. I need to see you guys. You know, now that I think about it, we need to actually have a database. For every foreigner that's removed, we need to have a local that has the same skill set that will actually go into that space. I mean, if we are saying that we want them gone, we also need our people in. Ngenani, mabahambe ningene. Ngenani, be bold, be brave. Fortune favors the brave. It will all work out. You don't need to have a perfect plan, but have a plan, because if you don't have a plan, you're planning to fail. Be audacious like a foreigner. Be bold, be audacious like a foreign national. If you know that you're good at what you do, start your own business. Don't always seek to be employed by a foreign national, especially if you work at a salon or you sell food or whatever. Fortune only comes to those who position and align themselves. And the most important thing, customer service, customer service, customer service. Don't just think that South Africans are going to buy from you as a South African just because you're a South African. No, have customer service. And don't price fix. Have reasonable prices. Not everyone that buys from you is a millionaire. Until we win.
Hi Mzansi, welcome to Mgosi waseMzansi. Bantu bebaphuma ngetingane bahlangene laphana eThekwini bashaye operation esiklina eTheku. They were closing down titolo tebantu bokufika mawunganadonje timpepha letifanele cha siyavala sakho sitolo. They are making sure ukuthi bafuna kuyiklina eThekwini. Guys, yabona masisho sithi irevolution yoqala laphana eDurban sisuke nje sicinisile itocala khona itocala e-KZN because abantu base-KZN bayahlangana babumbane bayende into yabo. Uma base babaqosha ama-foreigner babaqosha, uma base bayavala bayavala. Ngibo nje abantu esibabona-ko ukuthi bayiphusha phambili le nto yokuthi uma nje ula South Africa ngalongekho emthethweni hamba kaya or hamba kaya nje. So Jacinta was basically thanking people ukuthi uyabonga ukuthi babambisane bayiclean eThekwini, and uyasho ukuthi ma-foreigners akusibo abantu laba baniketa inkinga kangako because they know ukuthi vele baphula umthetho, but ma-South Africans ngiwo lalwako owalula wona lama-foreigner saying ukuthi babaphoca sengwa emlonyeni. Do comment your thoughts down on the comment section. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. I'm signing out. Goodbye.